Hi Virgo, and welcome to your May 2019 Love Story Tarot reading. With this particular reading, I'm going to go with one storyline, whatever's coming out, so this reading will resonate and fit or it won't. So Virgo, let's take a look. I'm going to pull a card to look at your energy and then the energy of the other person involved in this love story. Okay. All right, so we have love yourself coming out on one side, and we have change habits coming out on the other side. So Virgo, right away with these two cards, I see a bit of a troubled situation or relationship in the sense of somebody's really suffering here, and the other person involved has to change their ways, has to change their habits, has to change something about the way they're treating the other person, interacting with the other person. There's just this imbalance of energy here, and one person is really starting to feel drained and almost to the point of, am I like self-sacrificing just for this person, for this relationship, and is, you know, having some consciousness about that and not wanting to self-sacrifice anymore, wanting to pull back, wanting happiness, wanting to live their life. And it's not to say that a departure from this person wouldn't be incredibly painful. In fact, I feel there's a lot of confliction about that. However, something has got to change in this connection, Virgo, because it is out of balance and somebody is really hurting. So let's pull some more cards. Okay, so we have repeating cycles and lessons, and that's coming out on the side. Not surprised to see that. This person, like I said, is feeling a lot of damage, a lot of hurt within, and starting to really question things. On the other, oh my gosh, look at this. Change yourself. So we have change habits and then change yourself. So yeah, this connection is really out of balance. One person is taking more, not being appreciative, being very selfish. It could just be playing a lot of games. And over here on this side, it's just like, man, this, no matter what I do, it's just like the same thing over and over and over and over. And now it's to the point where it's taken its toll. So let's pull a card to see what's going on between the two of you. What's the energy there? All right, so we have love songs. Oh. So despite this distorted energy, Virgo, there is like a lot of nostalgia, a lot of memory, a lot of sweetness wrapped up in this connection on both sides, I feel. But is this person capable of changing? I'm not sure. You know, we have to pull more cards to take a look. All I can say is this individual in this relationship really needs to get some consciousness about their actions and the way it impacts the other person in this situation. Like, there's something that they have got to change about themselves or become honest with to themselves. Change habits and change yourself. I mean, come on. And then over here, repeating cycles and lessons and love yourself. It's like this person over here can't take it anymore. But man, there's just all this history in between, you know, this memories, sacred moments, and it's hard to detach from that, which is probably why the same thing keeps playing out over and over, because it's like, how do I change this without letting this person go? And that, you know, that's a hard place to be. So let's pull some more cards, Virgo. All right, so we have other influences, true self. Lessons learned. That's going to drive me nuts. It has to be straight. Let's see. There we go. Better. Okay. Our photographs. I'm not surprised. We have love songs and now our photographs. There is a lot of history here. A lot of attachment going on for sure. And then shift perception. So Virgo, this lessons learned, I feel, is coming out on the side where it's kind of to the point of acceptance, where this situation's never going to change. It's like I want to give up on this. However, there's this connection that exists between the two, a lot of history, and with other influences and true self. It's almost as though this situation, this relationship has suffered damage because in some way, somehow, we haven't been true. Meaning we've had to put on a show, we've had to put on a mask, we've had to put on a charade for whatever reason. And it's these outside influences, like keeping up appearances for the sake of the show. And we can't do that anymore. It's like I'm at the end of my rope with this. And over here, shift perception with these cards. One person in this relationship really needs to do some soul searching and look at everything from a completely different perspective. And I would say both typically, but I feel on these cards that's coming out over here has already begun that process. And there's like a disconnection, a pulling away from the situation. And again, it's not to say there's not a lot of pain going on, because we have this, our photographs and love songs, there's connection that still very much exists. It's hard to let go of. So let's pull some clarity. All right, so we have the feminine flame, and this is awakened. Right here, awakened and elevated. Goes back to this energy where this isn't working, this is never going to work, like I need a change, I need a shift, I'm way too unhappy, I deserve love, I'm beginning to love myself in a way that you've never loved me, and that's how I know this isn't working anymore. Under true self, we have the Eight of Roses, expanding, evolving, learning. And this is the only lessons card that you guys have in this whole reading. So yeah, big lesson going on here, Virgo, for you and the other person involved, regardless of what side of the situation you resonate the most with. There's a lot of growth here, and it stems towards owning your true self, regardless of what anybody thinks or has to say about it. Big lesson going on here. I feel a lot of the issue that exists does come from outside influence and this need to like pretend that you guys are somebody else or something else, and it's just like I can't anymore, I can't do this anymore. It's completely distorted the connection, the love. Under lessons learned, we have incompatibility, struggle, withering. Yeah, it's just the feminine energy in this reading. It's like I'm getting it, and this isn't working. Under our photographs, Nine of Thoughts, anxiety, fear, haunted mind. A lot of fear in letting this go and walking away from this connection, just because of the history that exists here. And look at this, under the shift perception, change habits, change yourself. What do we have? The Two of Thoughts, blocked, denial, ego. Virgo, to me, this here looks to be a situation that will continually repeat, as it always has, until there is some big change within you or the other person in this connection. There's an incompatibility, and again, it comes back to the fact that one person has really been like in 100%, keeping it together, stuffing their true self, their true feelings down for the sake of the show, to keep everything kosher in the relationship, not to rock the boat. With the other influences, it's like a family, friends, there's some other element to this that has helped to create the distortion here. And no matter what this side says, it's like this side just can't receive it, can't understand it, can't see how this side is hurting and what this side truly needs. It's almost like there's been this beautiful awakening over here, and this side is like, hey, come with me, let me show you what I know. And over here is like, no, this is the way it is, this is the way it's always going to be, and if you don't like it, you can leave, or you're wrong, and you've got to see it my way, your way is the wrong way. Like there's something like that going on here. And the only thing that keeps this connection going is the history, the memories, the maybe family ties. So let's pull some more cards, Virgo. All right, so we have the Nine of Emotions. Man, this feminine really wishes everything could just work out in a much different way. Like, doesn't want mess, doesn't want, like, truly wants flow. And now, under this learning and true self, we have the Five of Thoughts: argument, defeat, manipulation. Somebody really doesn't want to own themselves here. Lessons learned is token of affection or romantic offer. So this is where we fight to the point of exhaustion, and now one or the other wants to smooth things over because being in a, angry place is very uncomfortable. So that's why this cycle repeats. And now we have the divine feminine of emotions, awakened, deep, empathic. Yeah, the feminine energy in this reading is very awakened, is just seeing things for what they are, and has truly done the best they can. Okay, and it doesn't have to be a female that I'm speaking of. It could be a masculine who is very awakened to his feminine side, his yin side, which that's a very balanced whole human being, whether male or female, being in tune with both the yin and yang energies that exist within. And so when I'm saying awakened feminine, it's, I feel coming through as the feminine. If it's a man, I'm speaking of, because he's very awakened, he's very balanced, he's very in tune, and, his partner, whether female or male, is not meeting him in that same space. Now, if I'm speaking of a female, it's the same thing. She is very awakened, she is very wise, she's very in tune with everything, whether she's dating a female or a male, her partner is not in the same space as her, causes a lot of heartache, conflict, and distortion within her. And because she or he is so attached to this other person, there's a element of tolerance and endurance that is given that wouldn't be offered to anybody else. And it's coming to the point now, especially in May, where something's got to give. And lastly, Six of Roses, giving, receiving, sharing. Yeah, there's got to be some equality here, in a sense, in a way that hasn't been present in the past. So Virgo, the best advice I could give about a reading like this is, this person is not capable at this point in time of understanding, of seeing, of shifting perception to meet you halfway, if this is the side you resonate with, okay? If you are a cross watcher and you feel like this is your Virgo and you're the one over here, what I have to say about that is the same thing. This person just is not in a place consciously or emotionally, mentally, life experience, however you want to look at it, to fully grasp the way their behavior is, who they are, what they are, just whatever this distortion is. they don't see it. They don't want to change. They don't want to shift perception. It's the life that's been had and the way things have been going is much more comfortable to them than any sort of big shake up or change up. But this person, unless they really put their foot down and assert themselves and their needs, it's like the same thing will repeat over and over, because even though this person is very challenging, there comes points where we break down. Here you go. I'm sorry. Let me make it up to you. I'm going to change. I'm going to do better. And that might last for a minute, but it always falls back into the same thing. And in order to break that, you have to change the way you handle it. You have to do something different that you've never done before. And what that is for each and every one of you in your relationship is different. So, not the best reading, Virgo. I'm so sorry, but it was consistent from start to finish of the message. So I know that somebody is definitely going to be like, yeah, I get it. And if you're that somebody, it's truly time to love yourself and have no shame in that. Feel no guilt of that. You deserve that. Spirit wants you to have that, because you deserve a heck of a lot more than you've been getting, okay? So Virgo, those are your messages. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.